Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's the Squares the Round Table, and we're back at you again. Another week of year 2 of this amazing show. We appreciate you listening. With me is Jeff.
Hello.
And Ivan.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's good, man. How you, man?
I'm doing good. Just sitting here mellow like a jello, you know?
Okay, man.
Mellow like a jello?
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
So,
you poor fellow.
so
Yeah,
Jeff, how you been this
mellow.
week? What's been going on with you?
What's been going on with me? I didn't get to do very much. I got stuck. One of my mom's friends turned 70, which for some strange reason means that I got stuck having to go to this synagogue, which was for those who are not Jewish means it's like going to church, except nothing's really in English, and it's long. But at least it sounds cool, because I don't know. The few times that I've been to church, I just don't understand the whole thing, because everything sounds like a song when you're at church. It's like, can I pass the potatoes, please? No, I need butter now. I don't know. It's just weird. So yeah, I did see Skyscraper over the weekend.
With The Rock.
Yeah?
The Rock with no leg, which kind of makes him like a stone. I don't know. But it's like if you took the Towering Inferno and said, hey, let's add Die Hard to it. That's kind of Skyscraper. But Nev Campbell looking real good. Real good. Like, I haven't seen Nev Campbell in a while, and I was like, ooh, Nev Campbell.
Was it
And
good
I'm like,
action
wow.
film?
Yeah, not bad. Definitely a popcorn movie. I wouldn't spend a ton on it. Yeah, I've been meaning to see Skyscraper. I've had it on my DVR for a while, so I had just been kind of holding on to it. I didn't want to spend the money since I had HBO at the time, and I was like, all right, I'll record it before I lose it. But, Mike,
Yeah.
I went to the hardware store today.
You did? What was at the hardware store?
Oh, I had to make keys.
You had to have keys made.
Mm-hmm.
Were they Schlage or
I'd have-
Kwikset?
Why you gotta ask me the difficult questions? I have no idea. They were keys.
Keys to your
For the
house?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
not my house. My condo, yeah.
Okay.
And so then I was just surprised by how many keys I had to... And of course, there's a guy back there, and he's like, no, this is the wrong type of key for this. I'm like, well, okay, Mr. Expert, I don't know anything. Make me a damn key. What kind of key would you like? I don't know. I mean, they had like a million different looks and all that stuff. I'm like, okay. So
Can
I
you
ended
get
up...
one with the Cubs logo on it?
I did I get two with the Bears logo on it.
There you go.
Because they're really for my mom, so yeah. I was like, okay. So.
Well, good.
Cool.
So yeah, but it was the hardware store, and I thought of you.
Single cut keys are the best seller and a very good revenue generator, because those slugs only cost us like 20, 30 cents. So they really help to pay to keep the lights on there. So there.
Hello.
Hello. Hi. Hey, welcome to the Squares Roundtable.
Hello.
Hello, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, I'm glad you had a good trip at the hardware store.
Yeah. So how about you, gentlemen? What else is going on with you guys?
Yeah, Ivan, you've only got a few minutes left, and then you got to head out. So why don't you review your week, and then you do your review.
Okay, real fast. Had a lot of DJ gigs this week between Cafe Mustache and Logan Arcade, including Brad and Sarah's baby shower over at Logan Arcade. Congratulations on your new bundle. We're giving you guys a shout out. That's right. Did the Sweet Soulful Sunday on Sunday, and that was a wonderful time. We're doing a time change for Sweet Soulful Sunday. We are going to start next month at 3 p.m. till 9, so we can get into the prime hours and make sure enough people get to hear it. So we're doing that. We're getting away from the 1 o'clock starts. And then Julie and I went to go see The Avengers. Yes, I
About
know.
freaking time.
Yeah,
Yes. Not new news. I understand, boys, but
more
at
than
the
half
same
the
time,
planet's seen it before you, man.
I know half the planet's seen it before me. Good for them.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I had the opportunity to sit in a lounge chair, comfortable, with my feet up, with my honey, and taking in 3 beautiful hours of the most amazing.
Did you
motion
have like
picture
the Winnie the
I've
Pooh
seen.
like actual tub of honey while you watched the film?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was
Oh bother.
I had the only tub of honey. Only tub of honey I had was my baby Julie. Yes, I did.
Okay.
But that's
Wait,
my
you're
girl.
calling your girlfriend? You're calling your You're calling your girlfriend a tub of honey?
Oh, she's my tub of honey. I'm her sweetie pie.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
most
that's
women I
fine.
know, if you call them their tub of honey, they're going to take a frying pan to your head.
Yeah,
Some
well,
with some, yeah.
some will, yeah, but terms of endearment, darling, sweetheart, cutie pie, turtle dove, whatever that is.
Turtle dove.
And partridge in a pear tree, too, while you're at it?
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, we can throw that in.
Yeah.
So without further ado, yeah, real quick, as far as on the tip that Jeff put into the movie about certain things being a little too long, I have to agree at some points of the movie that it was a situation where, a little less time on certain character builds could have happened. We probably could have cropped away maybe 20 minutes at least. Best.
20 minutes? What are you, nuts?
Yeah, there was a lot of things in there. I saw that.
What parts were slow to you?
Well, the beginning was kind of rampy.
It's the Avengers dealing with the ramifications of what's happened in 5 years.
Right. I understand. But at the same time, I just thought that maybe just certain things could have just happened just a tad bit faster for me. But as far as all the action, yes, the action was stellar. As far as the story, it made everything cohesive and it made a lot of sense. The fact that I got to see all of my favorite characters make a return, which was cool, from Spider-Man to Black Panther to, and then Valkyrie in disguise. And the fact that they went ahead and they put some of the female superhero characters front and center in some portions of the movie was really refreshing. And then as far as like tying in all the loose ends, yes, they did a wonderful job. And it made for a great finale, or maybe not finale, because I keep hearing word that there might be another movie in the works somewhere down the line. But for right now, a lot of people are taking this as the finale. And of course, I like the computer generated Stan Lee in the 1970 automobile, tearing down the street, make love, not war. That was fabulous.
No, Stan Lee's last
see
cameo.
Stan.
Yeah, I was going to say, that wasn't computer generated. That was his last cameo. That's the last.
That was just him in a mustache.
Yeah, that was the real him.
I know that was the real him, but they aged him a little bit younger for that particular scene.
You think he did? Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I read on that.
Okay.
I searched that out. And so they just touched him up a little bit, and it was beautiful, and not to mention the fact that I'm just a little disappointed that I didn't follow the lineage like you guys did with more dedication. Now Julie and I want to take the road most traveled by you there, Mike, which of course we want to go ahead and see all 22 films ourselves.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, so we're going to do that now. Julie's like, man, I wish I knew more about the backstories on some of these characters. I mean, she was really excited about the movie. It was really good. Mm-hmm. I mean, for a layman like myself who doesn't follow, it all that, follow it at all, the way you guys follow it, it stood on its own merit. I have to say,
well, Infinity War was prerequisite enough just to enjoy this film.
Yeah. So it worked out for me. And then, Captain Marvel, which, worked for me.
Yeah.
Worked for me. So in the end, yeah, I would have to say, I won't give it 5 Yeah-Mans, but I will definitely give it 4 and 3/4 Yeah-Man.
4 3/4.
Just a little quarter away
Wow.
because of the somewhat lengthy character build towards the beginning.
Well,
Aside
it's just
from that-
because the character moments you have with these, the interactions these characters have had with each other and what they're dealing with. It's built to the emotional investment from all the years and all the past films of them working together.
Right, and I got the feels.
Yeah.
I got the feels. I did some crying too, and it brought me in.
Yeah.
And
do you have any questions about what happened?
Do I have any questions about what happened? Maybe best set to maybe another time to go into that, but
Right.
I do have a couple of things, but but not at this particular moment.
Okay.
But aside from that, the fact that I got to see it, in a theater that wasn't, roaring through most of it, and I got to hear everything, and I got to experience everything, and I got to see it comfortably, and in a way that was just all encompassing. It was a wonderful date night movie, and we had fun. And would I see it again? Yes, I will.
Was the theater crowded?
We had like 3/4 capacity.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, we had 3/4 capacity. There was some seats, but not many. But then, of course, the theater I went to in Norwich, the theaters are not very big because of the new.
And it's been out for a few weeks now, so they moved the bigger shows. They moved them into the smaller theaters.
I think so.
Yeah, because by the third time I'd seen Captain Marvel, they put you in the smaller theaters at the end of the megaplex, where it's only like 30 seats as opposed to 50 or 70 or whatever. So, okay, well, I'm glad you finally saw it, Ivan. Welcome to 2019.
Yeah, I remember when Ivan said, "Oh, no problem, I'll totally be able to see."
Yeah, I'm going to see you guys.
Sunday.
I'll be there that weekend. Yeah, man.
Yep. Yeah, man.
3 weeks later.
Fans. Yeah, man.
Right. Well, look, I tried. Okay, that should at least be in my corner. At least I saw it.
We're happy you saw it.
Yeah. No, I just think it's funny because I was like, that's not going to be a problem. Okay.
All right. Well, you guys warned me that you said that I might be having a problem with it, and I did. It wasn't because I couldn't go, but it was just, it was time. It was just trying to find the time to do it.
Did you manage to avoid spoilers until you saw it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, good.
So I got the whole thing. Without it being ruined for me, which was good.
Yeah.
Which was good. Oh, man. But yeah, definitely you'll see that again.
It's funny, Mike. There's a lot of people who are annoyed about the whole timeline and time travel and all the timeline stuff, and for some strange reason, none of that bugs me.
Well, no.
That didn't bother me neither.
Some people are like, it wasn't a comic book movie, it was more of a sci-fi movie. I was like, no, it was a comic book hero movie.
Well, I think that's the part that I laugh about is the people who are the most annoyed about the timelines and all the stuff that's there are the people who are looking at it from a more scientific perspective and sciencey perspective. And I'm like, it's a freaking comic book movie. And maybe it's just because I've read comic books for years and timeline continuities have always been screwy and screwed up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that to me. It's like just another comic book problem, and I'll fix it in continuity somewhere down the line. Somebody will go, "Hey, we need to fix this." Have the major crossovers in the history of comic books have to do with the fact that nothing makes sense anymore. We have to wrap up the continuity again.
Yeah, or just do a soft reboot and then we'll go right back.
Yeah, soft reboot time again. Yeah, half of them are that. I mean, seriously.
Which comic books being around as long as they have been around, continuity is not something that's going to be continuous because it's just
continuity is not continuous.
I'm sorry?
Uncontinuous continuity.
Continuity is not continuous. Are you sure about that one?
Uncontinuous continuity.
No.
That's the title for this week's episode.
There you go. The Viper title, that's it right there.
Right.
Okay. I get in my other contribution.
But like in these, like when these books first came out, no one gave a crap about continuity or story arcs.
No.
They were just selling books.
Yeah.
Selling 10-cent comics.
They were entertainment.
I mean, that's the funny part, because there's a lot of people whose reaction, who are writers, who are like, just enjoy the story. And people are like, no, it has to make sense. This, because an issue, blah, blah, blah. And, the comic book guy thing. And it's like, I'll admit, I used to be there. And then I talked to enough writers and I've talked to enough people. And it's like, yeah, you know what? If it's a good story, I'm down. I don't really care about some of this other stuff anymore. And maybe that's just me, because I've dealt with enough creators and talk to enough people, or people who know creators, and it's just like, you know what? I don't have time to worry about this. If they wrap it up and they put it into continuity, that's great. If they don't, I'm okay with it. Just don't let it suck.
Well, if it's a good story, any good story will stand on its own merit, with or without a continuity.
It's like
is what I'm
after 3 viewings now, and thinking back now, there's a couple of things like, how did that happen? How did this happen? I was like, whatever.
Well, and the funny part to me is this. There are some obvious windows of issues that were left open from the movie, and my reaction is one of two things. Either it wasn't important enough for them to deal with, or two, if I know Marvel, they have plans to address that somewhere else at some other time. And the irony is that based on some of these miniseries they're talking about for Disney Plus, it sounds like there's quite a few of these things that are going to get addressed in these miniseries. So to me, that's kind of my reaction. Is it's like, okay, I think you guys are looking too much into this stuff, because there's going to be some of this stuff addressed. Like, I read something the other day that apparently in the Loki miniseries, it's going to totally be having to do with the fact that Loki from 2012 has the Tesseract and he's being chased by Captain America, which is interesting, because does that mean Chris Evans is indeed reprising his role at times?
Or is it
Loki
Sam
series?
And Bucky trying to chase him down?
Right. So, keep in mind, they sent Chris Evans back in time. They didn't send Sam and Bucky. So,
right.
I mean, to me, or at least there's reports of that. I think those Disney's miniseries will answer some of the questions, and I think the reason they did that is they want those people to buy Disney Plus, and they needed to have enough storylines where they sat there and said, "Hey, you know what? We can work this out in other ways in other places." And at the same time, we have other movies to do. So
there's that meme now about where at the final battle where Doctor Strange opens all the portals and Wong goes, "Is that everybody?" And the bottom frame is the Defenders saying, "Okay, wait, get ready, guys. The portal's going to open any minute," because they never addressed the Marvel Netflix guys. So they never
right. And well, they're not the only ones they don't address. They don't address Runaways. They
Agents
don't address
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Dagger.
Yeah,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
So Disney Plus will give them a chance to be part of that the main MCU continuity.
Right. Well, and they've admitted that some of that stuff is not going to work as well, and how do they have not done a good job of dealing with that, and we'll see if that changes once this, now that things are a little different, that they've got the Disney Plus and they've got Hulu, and we'll see if any of that all changes when they have those platforms. But yeah, to me, I wasn't expecting them. If anything, by the way, one of my other predictions was true.
Yes, we know.
And I'm not talking about that we never saw Bruce Banner again. Freaking Howard the Duck was there.
Yeah, if you blink and you squint your eyes and tilt your head at the right 0.3 seconds.
Right. Well, yeah, but that counts. He was there. Doesn't matter how long it was.
What was he going to do? Flick cigar ashes at one of the Chitauri?
Is that what he did? That's awesome. I'm going to have to look for that. If anything, my reaction is, why didn't they give him a bigger cameo? Because him with a big giant gun, smoking a cigar, and firing at all kinds of aliens, that needed to happen. That totally needed to happen. Why is it that small of a cameo?
That would have been cool to have a great moment with him and Rocket.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Or him, like, riding Spider-Man and firing a gun or something like that. I don't... you know, you get the idea. I mean, I think they could have done more. I mean, I'm just glad that... See, it was funny when I watched that scene. With all the people that were there, I'm like, how did they not have Howard the Duck? And then later it's like, oh yeah, he's there. You just really have to squint. And I'm like, why did they make it like that? I mean, everybody's kind of looking for that cameo anyway. Why not just give him his moment? But
see, that was where the fan service was getting a little, obviously too gratuitous, and
probably.
It's like
or maybe there is going to be something more happening down the line with Howard the Duck.
Maybe.
There is. He's getting his own series.
They're doing the animated series on Hulu that they've got coming up. They do have an animated coming up. But it would be interesting if Howard the Duck somehow ended up in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Well, he's been in both of them. He's had cameos in both of them.
Right, he's had cameos. It would certainly be interesting, though, if he became like a member. Especially if it was like him, Rocket, and Thor.
Or the space dog.
Hysterical.
The space dog, like the dog in the spacesuit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there'd be something to that. That'd be kind of...
Okay, now what's with the Hulk aping, the dude, from the Big Lebowski? What's that about?
You mean Thor?
You mean Thor?
I mean Thor, yeah.
He dealt with his failure. He got fat.
Yeah, I mean, but it's just that he looks so much like the Big Lebowski. I had more of my fair share of gutter laughs, at the point where it's like, what? I mean, right down to the jacket and the way he dressed and everything,
the robe
the
and the beard and the sunglasses. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, there have been some people who've called him the Great Thorbowski or something like that.
The Great Thorbowski.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we need a fat Thor figure. Totally.
Oh, they're coming.
You know what? Fat Thor figure down at the store. Got to get it.
Yeah. Is it really?
Well, there is going to be a Funko Pop, and I think there's been some third-party 1/6 scale coming.
Oh.
Of Lebowski Thor.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry, they're coming.
We talked about that the one week you weren't on, Ivan, about that there are people thinking that Thor was fat shamed, and I'm like, dude, I've never seen a fat superhero before on a Marvel movie.
Never.
I'll take that any day of the week. Because what I thought was going to happen was he was going to magically turn back into like badass, in shape Thor all of a sudden, and he didn't. And I thought that was kind of cool.
I thought that was great the way they they went with that. They did like, oh yeah, well now, he's going to be this fit superhero in a matter of seconds, and it's like, nope. But he was badass though.
Yep, absolutely. He didn't need to be like
He didn't need to be fit
to still be a badass. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that lit my torch, man. That was like, fuck yeah, that was cool.
See, I mean that to me is the part that I laugh about when the people complain about like that. I'm like, no, that's every guy going, yeah.
Yeah.
That's me. That's me with the hammer. Okay. Whacking away at somebody, but I
am that guy, man. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. But it's just like, I don't know if you caught this, Mike, but apparently they've now admitted that the mystery man in Peggy Carter's life has always indeed been Steve Rogers, who came back from the future.
Yeah, we wonder why, like, when he came back in Winter Soldier, when he sees her at the hospital, why we never see his face and who she remarried. The truth is, I guess, is that she couldn't marry anyone but him. So that's great.
Yeah. Well, and I kind of laugh because there are people like, you mean to tell me that it's like, guys, it's a story and they just wanted to wrap it up and make it look cool.
Yeah, and they finished his arc. He got his dance with his girl.
Right. And the only thing
that was a beautiful scene. That was touching.
The only thing about that is that's kind of that I have trouble with, and it's the part that I find creepy, is you're making out with your niece.
Well, they had one kiss. They had one kiss in Civil War. That was it.
Right.
And it didn't go anywhere else as far as we know.
Right, but at the same time it's like we're not talking about like a kiss on the cheek or something innocent. We're talking there was some tongue action with your freaking niece. Now, in fairness, Steve doesn't know that, but the question is, how does she not know?
Well, that would be one of the great mysteries, I guess. Maybe we'll never know.
I don't know. It's just very strange. And by the way, where's Steve at that point in the where's Steve at that? Well, anyway, like I said, you know what? That's too far. I'll just enjoy what I had and. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you start going too far, you can start losing the enjoyment of it was a movie and I enjoyed it. And
well, you know what? And I enjoyed the movie. And like I said, I'm not as ardent a follower, but I enjoyed it. I mean, because I didn't see it a lot like you guys see, what you guys see. But it stood on its own merit for me. I thought it was great. You know, like I said, it's just portions a bit long, but still good. You know. So, would I refer it? Hell yeah. In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Go.
So, I'm glad you finally saw it. That's good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Anything else you've been doing?
Yeah, and the fact that I got to do a baby shower was really cool.
Did they ask
baby
for
shower?
No, nobody asked for Freebird. You know, I'm just happy. I'm happy that I got to do that for my friend Brad. I mean, they're wonderful people, and it was a good time. It was a good time to be had by all. And then Sunday, I got to do some good Spanish food at Cocina Boricua. Shout out to Pat and their crew over there on 2430 Fullerton. If you want good Puerto Rican food, that's the place to go. Yes. Totally agree to that.
Any final thoughts, Ivan, before you got head out?
Any final thoughts? Well, I can only hope that this time I go out there, this time tonight when I go out to Cole's, I hope it's just as mellow and just as cool as every other place I've been at. It's a new place, so it's not new. I mean, I've been there before and I've done things there, but this will be the first time I'm actually DJing there on a Monday night.
I've been to Cole's before. Yeah, I got a new pair of slacks there last month.
Yeah, I've gotten shoes at Cole's.
COLES.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's different.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have shoes there?
Oh boy, what am I going to do with you guys?
So it's like the heater, right?
No, it's not the heater. Oh, you guys.
What?
You guys slay me. All right.
So like if you put pressure on her, do you shine right like a diamond?
If you put pressure on her, does she shine like a diamond?
No, you said it was Cole's. I don't know.
Oh, Cole. Yes, it's like what Superman did at the end of Superman 3 with Richard Pryor.
Yes.
Was
it the end of was it 3 or was it 2?
It was Superman 3 with Richard Pryor.
Ah. Yeah, that movie wasn't very good except for the fact that it Richard Pryor.
Wasn't. My young self was most impressed with it. What movie was that? It was at 82 or 83, I think it was.
Is it that
83?
83? Really?
I think it was 83. Yeah.
Yeah. Superman 1 was 78.
They go downhill really quick after 2.
Yeah, after 2, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because number 4 is really bad. Number 4 is, like, horrible.
That is
number 3. Is number 3 the one where he splits in half when he fights himself? That weird
yes.
Fight.
That was 1983, yes.
Is that the one where Richard Pryor can't figure out how to make kryptonite, so he adds like nicotine or something?
He adds something, yeah. He tries to synthesize kryptonite from scanning an asteroid in space.
Right. And so it has a weird effect on Superman.
It splits Superman in two, and in the good fight.
Yeah, some weird thing like that.
And Superman goes like he vandalizes shit, and he bangs a blonde chick.
Yeah, or something. Weird. Yeah, it's weird. It's a bad movie. It really is.
Nobody put any thought of that, man.
Richard Pryor's cool, but that whole movie is really bad.
It is bad.
I understand where Richard Pryor is coming from, which is, oh my god, I'm gonna get to do a Superman movie. But somewhere along the way, it turned into like Richard Pryor is doing a Superman movie, and it turned into being like there's a Richard Pryor movie, and P.S. Superman is in it. And it's like, yeah.
Wasn't there an advertising with that particular phrasing out there at the time?
There? That would be shocking.
I thought there was.
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought there was.
I don't know. There might have been. I wouldn't be shocked by it because it has all the irony is it kind of fits in with any type. If you really think about it, Mike, it really kind of fits in with any type of 80s bad Richard Pryor movie. It does have all the earmarks of a bad 80s Richard Pryor movie, except for the fact that it's a Superman movie.
Well, I mean, it's no Silver Streak with Gene Wilder.
Right. I said bad 80s movies. Richard Pryor did make some bad 80s movies, some really not good ones, and Jojo, Your Mother's Calling, I think, was one of them. Well, and like as much as we'd like to think The Toy was a good movie,
it's not.
Not really.
Especially like making fun of the Klan.
That movie does not hold up, by the way.
No, it does not. No. And I like Jackie Gleason too, man.
Yeah, Jackie Gleason in that role does not.
And then you hear about how Jackie Gleason like hated that kid, man.
Did he really?
Yeah, he hated children like on the set of any movie or TV show.
Oh no, he was not. He was not that guy.
He was not fond of kids.
No.
So well,
because that guy came later on and said that Jackie Gleason was an asshole to him.
Well, that kid kind of seems squirrely on the show, so it's like,
Well,
Now it says you're right. It just doesn't translate.
Yeah, that movie doesn't hold up at all. Wow. No. Yeah. There's probably a reason why that movie is never getting shown on late night TV for obvious
I remember
reasons.
when I was a kid growing up and it had heavy rotation on HBO.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's I think it's still out there on certain places, but I haven't seen it in a while.
No.
Well, I'd say that's somewhere floating in the ether.
It had a Ned Beatty.
The aliens are enjoying it.
Yeah. That's an example of one of those movies that was for a while in heavy rotation, and then suddenly somebody sat there and said, yeah, this didn't age well.
Well, what's your favorite Richard Pryor movie, Ivan?
My favorite Richard Pryor movie? Stir Crazy is one. The Silver Streak is another. I mean, when Richard Pryor was with Gene Wilder, they did magic. They were great together. So I have to say, those two kind of right up there in my favorite, Richard Pryor. Oh, wait a minute. And oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. There was one more. It was with an all-black cast too.
Harlem Nights.
Harlem Nights.
With Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, right. The movie that starts with every credit being by Eddie Murphy. I swear to God, if you watch the credits for that movie, this is by Eddie Murphy. That's by Eddie Murphy. This is by Eddie Murphy. That's by Eddie Murphy. And there's really like only two good scenes in that movie. Although he is really good in that movie. But there are only two really good scenes in that movie. The scene where Eddie Murphy and Delarice have the fight.
Yeah, where he shoots off the toe.
Yeah, he shoots off the pinky toe. That is one of the all-time classics.
I mean, that is the best. I mean, I can't imagine Delarice in anything else. I mean, I know she was, with something about angels, but no, when I think of Delarice, I think of the toe shot off.
No. Where she no-sells the trash can, which is like, oh, Jesus. And then the other scene is the one where Arsenio Hall is chasing Eddie Murphy for killing his brother, and
he's crying like a little bitch.
Well, not only that, but there's the two, like, they have him trapped in the one place, and it's the two guys with the big Tommy guns firing, and then the last guy with the gun just going bang bang bang,
and then they're out the street.
And it's like, even Arsenio, like, well, why are you shooting that little gun? Why are you shooting the little gun? We got this big gun. And like, it was really funny. I do find that amusing.
No, I have to say though, I do like. Okay, so instead of one, I came up with three.
Are you in the bathroom, Ivan?
No. What is your favorite? What is your favorite Richard Pryor movie?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Superman 3. No, I'm just kidding. You assholes. You're bashing my favorite Superman. I remember he had a bit role. Of course, he was the Wiz in The Wiz.
Was he really?
Was he?
Wow.
I don't even remember that.
He was
but yeah.
the Wiz in The Wiz. It was also, he had a bit role in, remember it's a Dudley Moore movie about Moses, or the story of some biblical story. I forget the movie. He was played like King Tut or something. Anyway,
Wow.
I just remember one old movie from cable where Dudley Moore was in this, like a biblical times. Anyway, favorite movie by Richard Pryor. Yeah, I think you're right. I'd have to say Stir Crazy, I think.
Stir Crazy was good.
I remember like a few years ago, I finally saw Car Wash, and he had a bit role in that movie, but he had top billing, and he only had like 5 minutes in that film.
Yeah, but that was one of those movies where like there were a bunch of people in it, weren't there?
Yeah, it was an ensemble cast, yeah.
Yeah, well, you had the Pointer Sisters, you had George Carlin.
Yeah.
You had Richard Pryor.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching the remake with Dog. I've thought about it, and then I've thought again. I'm trying to think, because why is it that the only thing that comes to my mind is Brewster's Millions, and it should?
Yeah.
What?
Brewster's Millions with John Candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Wait, according to this... Oh, no. Okay. I was going to say, wait. He wasn't in that. I'm looking just to see. Jojo, Your Life with Dancer is not good.
No.
Something called... See, like, bad movie. See, like, there's stuff like Bustin' Loose. That was bad. Some Kind of Hero was not good. Was he really in the Muppet movie? I thought that.
He must have had a bit role.
Yeah, he was...
Very slight.
Yeah, he was the balloon vendor, apparently.
Yeah, he was.
I did not catch that. Yeah. He was in the Partridge Family? Really? Wow, I didn't realize that at all. Holy cow. Okay. Yeah, I guess just because I remember as a kid Brewster's Millions, I'm going Brewster's Millions. I don't know why. Although I will say, I do think that his role in... I do think that his role on Harlem Nights was a good role for him. That might have been that might have been one of his better ones. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to say, yeah.
All this new news of him about him now, about him like having a tryst with Marlon Brando or whatever. Like, what the hell is up with that?
That's right. That's right up there with Rod Stewart having, ingested, male fluids, kind of like that whole Inquirer vibe.
Maybe.
I think so. Well, what you gonna do?
Oh, here it is. Here, this is from. Okay, yeah. There's a story here. Apparently, I had not heard. Where did this? Wow, you caught this, Mike. This is apparently some sort of. This came from Quincy Jones.
Oh, Quincy Jones is fucking crazy.
And a wide-ranging interview. This is from the New York Daily News. This is from.
Don't listen to Quincy Jones. He hates everybody. Honestly, there was an interview, and he pretty much put down a whole lot of people. In all honesty, I didn't really like working that person because they treat me like an asshole and shit. Just this really disgruntled, mean guy. I mean, he's made some of the coolest music on the planet, but he's just like so disgruntled, man.
So yeah,
so anyway,
I mean,
so what did he say?
He did an interview for something called Vulture, and he really opened up. This was back earlier this year, where he did an interview where he shared stories on everybody from Ivanka Trump to Elon Musk, and including allegations about Brando. And Brando, according to this is the quote from Quincy Jones. He'd fuck anything. He'd fuck a mailbox. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye. And apparently Jennifer Lee, Richard Pryor's widow, confirmed the story to TMZ. Her quote is, It was the 70s, drugs were good, especially Quaaludes. If you did enough cocaine, you'd fuck a radiator and send it flowers in the morning.
Okay. But I don't think any of that's really substantiated. The fact that Quincy Jones had his head up his ever-loving drug-addicted ass for like 30, 40 years. So, yeah. People who do a lot of drugs can make up all kinds of shit, So,
well, like I said, I just thought it was I'm just looking. I figured I'd chat. Mike, that's something where it's like, no way. And Mike's like, I'm like, okay, let's see what's out there. It's like, oh, okay. Well, it's a little bit more than I thought.
But it's good though. It's good.
Yeah.
And speaking of good, I got to say good night or good evening to my good friends here, because I'm going to go ahead and do my groovy thing. So I'm going to hand the show over to you guys to finish it out. But hey, it was cool hanging out today, and I hope to catch up with you guys on the full roll next Monday.
Okay, man. Take care, Ivan, and break a leg.
Oh man, I'll break more than that.
No, don't break legs. That's painful.
Thanks, boys. Have a good one.
Take care, Ivan.
That was Ivan Rivera.
It sure was. That's our Ivan, folks. He'll be back.
Everybody, this is getting started.
Whoop.
That was Ivan.
Ivan?
That was
Ivan, your voice changed.
Yeah, that was a porn star. Like I said, yeah, no. So where are we going from here? Where are we going from here? I have no idea.
We're not talking about the Game of Thrones finale, that's for sure. Because I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
I did not, but can we talk a little bit about something about that does bother me a little bit? Why is it okay for people to go on Facebook and spoil that with no time flat, and it's not okay for somebody to like, everybody's like, you can't talk about the Avengers movie, give it time, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Okay, why is it that when it comes to that stuff, it's okay to be able to blab about it right then and there? I don't get it.
Cool. Not cool. I don't know. But maybe just because, like I said, there's a disparity between paying $10 for television and then watching something on TV at home. And the next day, everyone's talking about it. Just like,
I guess.
Was most people who were interested were going to watch it that night, live. Or that, or you DVR'd it and watch it later. But, I don't know. Yeah, there's people were spoiling. This is all happening all the way through the season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
they were spoiling shit every night.
Right.
Day.
I just don't understand. I don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That I guess that's where I'm just kind of lost. That's one of the things I don't get. The other thing is, and this is the part I kind of laugh about, is, you know, between me and you, I mean, we've talked about, I wasn't 100% thrilled with Endgame, but it doesn't mean I'm demanding a rewrite. I want my money back.
Well, and you weren't really pleased with The Last Jedi.
Right. I mean, I wasn't sitting there going, okay, I wasn't out there looking for a rewrite. I wasn't out there looking for them to that I'm totally never ever going to watch Star Wars again and how dare they and blah, blah, blah. I just didn't think it was a great movie, and that's all I said. And now I'm going to move on to the next thing because there's another Star Wars movie coming out, or I'm sure there's other things that I can look at and do, and I don't have to worry about it. The only time I got annoyed is when they try to tell me that I can't have that opinion. That's where I got annoyed. And I just think it's hysterical that there are a million people seem to think that they can demand a rewrite. It's kind of like that thing where people are demanding the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie or stuff like that, where it's like, why?
This is the movie we got. Deal with it.
Yeah, next. I mean, I think that's the part I don't understand, is it's like, there's so much content out there now. There's so much product. And there is a part of me where I kind of like, I think part of it is you've got some of these people who've invested all this time and all of this what they feel is they've invested time and they expect things to be a certain way. And I'm kind of like, okay, so it didn't really go the way you wanted it to. Okay, fine. That happens, you know? I mean, there have been plenty of comic book stories where I'm like, oh, this is really cool, and you made a left turn and now I can't read this anymore. I can't read it. No. I'm not happy about it, and I do feel like you wasted my time a little bit, but here's the idea. I can either continue to buy it and see if they correct course or if something changes, or I can stop buying it and I can read something else.
I remember that same thing. It was about a year and a half ago when issue 1 of this new Captain America series came out.
Yeah.
And the last panel was Steve Rogers saying, "Hail Hydra." And everyone lost their shit. And people writing Marvel saying, "You can't have this, rewrite it, change it." I was like, well, just wait for the story to play out, dumbass.
Right. Well, that's the other thing, which is somewhere along, thanks to, see, once upon a time, like when we were kids, Hydra didn't equal Nazi. And it's kind of too bad because really in reality, one of the reasons why that happened in the Captain America movie is you don't feel like pissing off the German market and you want them to buy the movie. So they don't want, and it's kind of stupid. So therefore they're like, well, we'll make it Nazis and we'll make it that it was Hydra. And that Hydra was inside the Nazis or blah, 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 blah.
It was
so now you're
equating Nazi Germany's Deep Science Division. That's what they call Hydra.
Right, or something like that. Right. And so the irony is that now you have equated Hydra with Nazis when really in reality the two organizations weren't necessarily that I'm aware of. And I mean, you and I've read a lot of comics over the years. It's not until recently that connection was there. Yeah, Red Skull has worked with Hydra, but that didn't make them Nazis. That didn't make them white extremists. white supremacists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That wasn't the case. That's been something that's changed, and now people equate that with that because of the movies. And so there are a lot of people who are like, oh my God, you made Captain America nuts. No. Not really. He's just
people
with
were
Hydra.
they jumped the gun. They jumped to conclusions, and they're all like, change it, fix it, I hate it, I don't like this anymore.
Well,
I deserve a better ending to my story.
Right. Well, the amusing part to me is, here's the thing. And this is the part I laughed about. That's issue number 1.
Yeah.
Issue number 1. If at the end of issue number 1, it had something along those lines, and I didn't like it, you know what? Guess what? I'm not buying issue number 2.
But they needed a hook. That was the hook.
Right.
To get you to buy issue 2. Why does he say that? Find
Right.
out next month.
Right. And if your reaction is, oh, hell no, guess what?
You're not buying it.
Don't buy it. And you know what? There are a million other Captain America stories out there. There is so much Captain America content out there right now that there wasn't when you and I were a kid. I mean, there's a ton of great Captain America stories that you can go back and you can find a trade paperback, or you can find back issues, or there's the cartoons, or you can go back and watch one of the movies again. There's so much other content. Don't read it. And in fairness, by the way, I will say that I feel like having bit about how that thing ended, it was kind of weird and kind of convoluted, and I'm glad I didn't really buy it. But it wasn't because of that. And it did feel uncomfortable. It's like, okay, it's issue 1. Obviously, there's something going on here. And to me, I don't know. Like I said, I'd be curious what it would look like today if, like, for example, it's funny, people were all up in arms about that. And then there was that out of continuity book that Mark Miller did for DC years back, the Red Sun. I think you said you bought it, Red Sun, right?
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. Red Sun.
You haven't read it yet?
No.
So Red Sun, I wonder what reaction to Red Sun would be today. Because, I mean, really, in reality, that's a very... I mean, you're talking about Superman landing in communist Russia.
Right.
What
it's another, like a what-if kind of story.
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I can come up with that's different is that the story they were doing was in current Marvel continuity versus that's more of a what-if. But it's funny because they ironically, like I said, Supergirl just wrapped up last night. I'm giving season 3. I think it was season 3. Is it season 3 that just ended?
I think it's season 4.
Is it season 4? Boy, I gotta tell you, bravo. There's a few times where I was like, where is this going? Why are they doing it? But the back half of the season, boy, did they wrap it up. And Pryor as Luthor is great. Really great. And I gotta tell you, that's one of the better DC CW seasons of any of their shows that I've seen. That's one of the better ones. Maybe one of the best. One of the top ones. I'm telling you right now, that was good stuff. And ironically, they do use the concept of Red Sun in it. But yeah, like I said, I was thrilled. And I know there are going to be some people who didn't like the storyline because it hits way too close to home in what's going on in the world today. But I got to tell you, it was really good. Okay. Supergirl was great. And if you weren't watching it, shame on you. You should really pick it up. I think it's going to be on be on Netflix soon. But yeah, this season was really good, and it's a high recommend for me. I thought of all the shows this year from CW, it was by far the best.
Yeah, are any of the CW shows on the DC Universe streaming service?
I don't know. I don't think yet.
No.
I think that's coming because right now they have the deal with Netflix with CW, but I think that's going to change.
Yeah, season 1 of Krypton is moving to DC Universe, but season 2 is still going to be on Sci-Fi.
Right. Well, yeah. Well, right. It's still going to start on Sci-Fi. So yeah, season season 2's coming up on the 12th. I'm excited.
Yeah.
They haven't done nearly the promotion for it that I think they should, because that was really, in reality, that was one of the better superhero shows out there. Period.
Yeah,
they were really good. So
I've watched 3 more episodes. I'm close to the season 2 finale of Star Trek Discovery, and these later episodes now with this actor playing young Spock, it's feeling more, has a more Star Trek vibe to it than season 1 did, and they're falling into the element. And I like the guy who plays Captain Pike, so yeah, I'm digging it. So there's only I think maybe tomorrow night. I'm going to go over there and watch a few more episodes, finish season 2, and then we start something else, probably Cobra Kai at season 2, and then by then I'll be watching Krypton. So looking forward to that.
I'm kind of waiting for when, I guess, you're going to, the Cobra Kai season's available for free.
Yep.
Coming up in the fall. So I'm kind of waiting for that. And then I'll watch both seasons of Cobra Kai that way.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there'll be ads. I'm okay with ads if it means I don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like commercials. Ads are it's like YouTube. It's like anything else.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm willing to endure that if that's what it takes. That's fine. I just didn't want to pay for it.
That's their model. It's just to make the prior seasons free after you get your money from their subscribers, the current season.
Well, I believe they're actually making it where that's not going to. You're not going to have to pay for season 3.
That's
or
good.
At least from what I understand. I thought I read that somewhere, but yeah, to get back real fast to the point, where we originally started, which is I just feel like the other thing is that it's funny because, let's say, for example, like you or I ever got the opportunity to they handed us like something like, okay, here, write Batman. Okay. What are you going to do?
I put the sparkly vampire in it.
A sparkly vampire.
Well, the news currently is that they are not in talks yet to get Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Right, but I mean, like, if you were going to write
right.
Seriously, I mean, what? Think about it. It's like, all right, the character's been around for 80 years. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody wants to write a Joker story, but, all right, what's the difference between your Joker story and somebody else's Joker story? How are you going to make it different? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to differentiate what you're doing versus everybody else? Because in reality, so.
You put your spin on it without pissing off the hardcore fans.
Right.
Which you're probably going to do anyway.
Right. And that's kind of the point, which is, that I'm getting at, which is, not everybody's going to get it right. And not everybody is going to, sometimes it's going to not go the way you wanted it to. And the other thing is, too, just because this is what you wanted to write doesn't necessarily mean that's what editorial decided to let you do with it. They might tweak it and do some things with it. Now, granted, if you're high enough up on the food chain creator, editorial usually doesn't screw with you. But, there are plenty of stories of where that's not how I wanted this story to go. And then as a result, it didn't go exactly where they wanted it to. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Where they had entirely different thoughts and how this was going to get handled and that kind of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of stories like that. And to me, I guess that's where I kind of laugh a little bit, which is, I mean, I understand that people invest time in some of this stuff. And there's certain things, but then that's your call, which is, do you wish to continue to invest that time, or do you wish to do something else? And in fairness, if you really felt like this back half of this season wasn't what it needed to be, why did you continue to watch?
Yeah. It's not so much. It's not so much money. It's also just investing time into it.
Right.
We're fans, and we like to spend time reading and watching the things we like.
Right. Sure. And in fairness, I guess that's kind of where I'm at this point is like, for example, I'm trying to think Westworld, I watched season 2 of Westworld and I really enjoyed a lot of it, but at the end, it got a little too abstract and it got a little bit hard to follow in sections. And so I thought I wasn't as thrilled with the way that it ended. That doesn't mean that I'm not interested in Westworld season 3. It just means, I don't know that I'll have to think about it. Is it something that now I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I totally gotta get Westworld season 3. I'm totally excited. Okay, it can wait a little while. Or if I don't get to it, it's okay too. That's all it is. And I think that people take it too far with this stuff with we're going to petition. It's like, oh, come on, guys.
You can petition all you want.
That's, and the fact that they're being let up.
I guess the last couple episodes have really been upsetting to some of the fans.
Like I said, you and I have never watched it, so we can't.
I'm ill-equipped to judge or comment.
Right.
So
I take it back. I did see 3 or 4. I can't remember if it was 3 or 4 episodes. I decided to watch it when I had HBO for a little bit, and I got through. Here's why I stopped watching, and you'll get a kick out of this. There was one where there was an episode where it's late at night, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to push through one more. And I was kind of tired. And it's the one in one of the episodes. It's one of the early episodes where the blonde chick, I swear, is showing her boobs every 5 seconds. And yet I'm falling asleep. Now you know me, Mike. If I can't stay awake for boobs, something's got to be wrong. Okay, that was kind of my thought process on why I'm done. Because as much as I'm tired, boobs will keep me awake. Boobs will keep me awake, or should keep me awake. If someone is sitting there, literally, I don't know. There were some scenes where literally it looks like they're having sex, and I'm kind of sitting there, and I'm like, okay, if this can't keep me awake, why am I watching? Then really, in reality, maybe this isn't for me. And the other part is I'm like, I kind of wanted to catch up with people, and this was back in season 6, and I'm like, all right, what episodes can I skip? And everybody's like, oh, you can't skip any episodes. I'm like, yeah. There has to be episodes I can skip. I just want to catch up. No, you have to watch everything. And it's like, these aren't like the network These aren't like the network shows where it's like there were 15 minutes of commercials. So it's like, okay, it's really 45 minutes. No, these are a solid hour, like HBO shows. And sometimes they're longer than an hour. So you're like, I don't have that kind of time. I don't, if that's what you're telling me, I will watch this later at my leisure when the time comes. And
I know some people were racing to catch up.
Yeah.
With season 8 because they'd fallen behind, and now this being the final season. Then they finally started binge watching to get caught up so they could watch them live.
Right. Well, and that was my thought 2 years ago. All right, I'll catch up so I can watch season 7. And it was like, no, I don't think so. And the problem was I didn't have anybody where I could have sat there and said, why don't I come over to your place so that when things happen, I could just go, what did that mean? That's what I kind of needed. I needed somebody to be
you
my
need a guide.
That's what I need. I need a Game of Thrones primer person who can explain all this stuff to me as I'm watching it. And the funny part is, I've done this for people with superhero shit. How come no one's willing to turn around and do this for me with Game of Thrones? How come? Mm-hmm. How come?
I just recommend anyone go on YouTube and watch epic rap battles of history between George R.R. Martin and J.R.R. Tolkien.
Mm.
That was funny. That showed up on my Facebook feed today. I watched that. That was funny.
It's funny you did mention about vampire, but because now there's another report that maybe he's not he's not playing Batman and maybe it's somebody else.
I heard it's between two people. That's what I heard last time.
Yeah. And then they're talking about somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 villains, and maybe they're going to bring back the Penguin, back Catwoman, which, okay, I guess. I understand. It's like, how many times? I hate to say it. I agree. How many more times you the Joker? And since the Joker's getting his own movie, maybe you don't need to do it right now. Yeah, I'm with the people who are there, whose reaction is along those lines. But it is funny because here's an example of where I'm kind of really, but there was a post that I saw earlier about when was the last time anybody was happy about who they picked for Batman.
Remember the shitstorm for when they said it was going to be Ben Affleck?
See, I think I was one of the only people who was okay with that. I thought
was all right with
a good job.
I say give him a try. That's what I say.
Right. I thought he'd do a good job. I really did. And it's funny because people point that out and then they talk about Clooney. I thought Clooney would be a good choice. I thought Clooney was going to be like the best Bruce Wayne ever. The problem was they gave him nipples. And Arnold was in
among
that.
Other things, yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot of bad. And it's very unfortunate because Clooney, I think, could have been a great Batman.
Which do you think was worse, Superman 4 or Batman and Robin?
Superman 4.
Superman 4 is funny bad. Batman and Robin is just bad.
No, Superman 4 is really bad.
I could laugh at Superman 4.
Batman and Robin, there's some things I can live with.
No, I couldn't. I don't. I'd have to. If I had to choose between having to watch two of those, I'd go with Superman 4, just because I'd find it funnier.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't.
But yeah, with the whole Robert Pattinson thing, it's not been locked down yet. But I'd say, because everyone's photoshopping the Twilight poster, with Kristen Stewart as Wonder Woman.
The other thing is it's like some people are trying to spin it that it'd be great if we got the Batman Beyond. He was the young Bat. He played like Terry McGinnis, and then they brought back Keaton to be like old Bruce Wayne.
I would,
and that would be interesting. But I don't think
that.
But in fairness, that's not happening. We're not getting that movie. That's not anything about what they've talked about for that movie, from what I've heard. So I just don't buy it. But yeah.
I remember 2 years ago they had big plans for this year in 2019 for Batman.
Yeah, and then everything went to hell.
Everyone went to shit. Because
everything went,
because of Justice League mainly and Ben Affleck.
Mm-hmm. Well, part of it's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, part of
it's Warner Brothers. I mean, from what I understand, here my understanding from people I've talked to, and I'm not saying that they know everything, but the story I've heard is that Warner Brothers was, come on, let's go. We're ready to, we got to get this movie. Let's put out the Batman movie. And Ben Affleck was like, no, it's not ready. And Warner's reaction was kind of like, it'll be fine. We'll put it out. We'll make money on it. We'll be all good.
Speaking of making money, I was looking at the numbers for for Endgame, watching it slowly getting ready to take Avatar in the worldwide box office. I looked at the numbers for Shazam, and Shazam did pretty good for Warner Brothers.
Yeah. Shazam's a hit for Warner Brothers. All things considered, they have kind of figured out how to. I had a feeling this was going to be the case, which was that, Aquaman was going to work, Shazam's going to work.
Aquaman really worked.
The second Wonder Woman movie is going to work. I feel like they have. Again, this goes back to the conversation that we had a while back, which is by the time they realized they had a problem, they had already filmed Justice League. They had already filmed Suicide Squad. and they had pretty much filmed Wonder Woman. All those films were kind of in the can, ready to go. And when Superman v. Batman, or Batman v. Superman, went to hell, well, okay, you've already done. How much more are you going to do when this stuff's already been put in? They essentially had to triage some of those movies. Wonder Woman had the least amount of work to do. I mean, when the whole thing went wrong with Batman versus Superman, they triaged the hell out of Suicide Squad. And the irony is, as much as people sit there and say it wasn't a good movie, Suicide Squad did well for them. I mean, and part of it was, I keep laughing, but here's another example of it. Was near the end of the summer, wasn't a lot out there, and it was a good enough popcorn movie, and there wasn't much else out there. And it made a decent amount of money. It did what it needed to do. Yeah. The problem with Justice League, I mean, it's funny because I know one of the stories that's out there, Kevin Smith pleaded with them for at least another month or two, and he couldn't get it. They're like, no, we got to release. And, that maybe he gets that extra month or two. Maybe it fixes. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. When I had HBO, I rewatched it a few times. I see where people sit there and say, ugh. But I gotta be honest with you, it's not as bad as people make it out to be.
No, it never was. Yeah,
it's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's just not great, and it's unfortunate because it didn't make the numbers that it needed to make. Because honestly, yeah, I think that really in reality they should give us another Justice League movie. I think they should.
It's sad that we're not going to get one for a long time, though.
Right. Now we're not going to get one, and it's too bad. It's too bad that the rationale was, well, obviously we can't make money on it. We can't seem to make a Justice League movie work. Is it that you couldn't make a Justice League movie work, or is it that your plan was bad from the get-go?
Exactly.
And you played catch-up the whole way. So if you're playing catch-up the whole way to try to fix the problem,
trying to play ball in the same court as Marvel, and you're going to fail.
Right, and to me that's why I kind of laugh, because I had a feeling that the next movies would be better. That this is exactly kind of what we would see, which is, okay, yeah, by the time Aquaman went to go shoot, all this stuff had happened. They already knew. It's like, okay, we need to make some changes. Same thing with Shazam. Same thing with Wonder Woman that's going on right now. To me, that's the interesting part. And I am curious after those three movies, kind of what's next. I mean, I know there's a Batman movie on the Joker movie that's coming out in the fall. That I know I can't remember if it was you or somebody else I was talking to who's not thrilled about it.
Joker? Yeah, I'll watch it because Joaquin Phoenix, he's a good actor, so I'm sure he'll do a good performance.
Yeah, I'm curious how that's going to look. It's funny, the way that people are talking about that movie. I'm very, very curious. It's funny. People talked about Black Panther and about it in Oscars. I wonder, depending on how this goes with Joaquin Phoenix, they are putting it later in the year, and if it's and people are already talking about this movie and nobody's seen it yet, okay, and they're talking about it like that kind of movie. And I think Scorsese's involved, isn't he?
He's directing, so, right? Scorsese's
directing. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is the movie that might have a shot at Oscars.
There's people saying that Robert Downey Jr. should get an Oscar nomination for Endgame.
No. No. Sorry. I don't.
He wasn't in enough to get Best Actor. Maybe Best Supporting Actor because it was an ensemble deal.
Yeah. And it's funny to me if I was gonna. There's a part of me where it's like, okay.
Sure, he'll win a People's Choice Award or an MTV Movie Award, but an Oscar? I'm not sure there's enough to merit it.
No. There's really isn't. And it's not a good enough movie to merit an Academy Award nomination either. Sorry. I'd love to tell you it is, but it's not. That's not true.
So we'll see if Phoenix is maybe, who knows?
Yeah, I think I think it's interesting because of where they're placing it in timing, who's involved with it. Yeah, I think this might be the movie that really could be one of those, could be a crossover. And that would be interesting because, Black Panther sort of went there, but really in reality, as much as people were like, oh, it should be considered more, we all kind of knew that wasn't going to be the case. But you've got Scorsese involved. You've got Joaquin Phoenix involved. Yeah, you're talking about DC. Here's an example of where DC could break new, which is, here's where DC could differentiate. Okay, yeah, Marvel, you're right. You guys have been box office champs. But we're going to be the studio that puts together the critically acclaimed, Academy Award winning superhero movie. And I'll tell you, that would be interesting.
Well, they did that with Gravity and Interstellar. They made sci-fi movies, but they made them like Oscar movies. Mm-hmm. So maybe they're trying to do the same thing with this Joker movie.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm curious. Like I said, I'm curious how that plays out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I'll hold off on Robert Pattinson. If, in fairness, if it brings more millennial girls to come watch a Batman movie, what do I care? That's not a horrible thing.
I heard he's had some good performances in these smaller indie films he's done since the Twilight movies.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I hear he's good.
Again,
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't watched him, so I can't questions and yeah, I don't know.
My sisters watched the Twilight movies, so they liked the Pattinson guys, so
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they did. Oh well.
I'm trying to think. What else this week?
Any other TV you saw?
Well, yeah, I kind of want to hold off a little bit on the CW DC shows until next week after I've seen Legends of Tomorrow, which is going on as we tape. Okay. To talk about this season. The one thing that's interesting has been so far, with the exception of Black Lightning, because apparently Black Lightning will not be involved in this whole Crisis in Infinite Earths thing. So far, every other show has had a post or end show teaser towards whatever's going on with Crisis in Infinite Earths. The biggest being Green Arrow. Although the Supergirl one was interesting too. But all three, Flash, Green Arrow, and Supergirl have had them. I'm assuming we might see one tonight. Well, or we'll see one in Legends of Tomorrow. I have not gotten a chance to take a look at it. But yeah.
This is May sweeps, so.
Yeah, well, but it's interesting because they're already starting to tease this thing that it looks like a lot of these shows are going to be pushing towards that direction in terms of what happens. And personally, I'm all for it because really in reality, I'll tease with this. Yeah, so with the exception of Supergirl, there's some changes that need to be made. And there's some story direction and stuff that needs to be worked on. Because, yeah, stuff needs to get shaken up. Stuff needs to happen. And that needs to be the case. But we did get some stuff for upfronts. I think the most interesting thing is I saw you saw the Batwoman trailer. Some people are some people are, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I guess I'm willing to buy in. I'm with you. I'm kind of with you.
Where's if she's taken over for Bruce Wayne or what, our cousin Bruce?
Yeah, it does sound as though the series is gonna happen not in current time with every other series. So it'll be interesting to see how and why that's the case, but we'll see. There's a rumor
but it
out
is
there.
taking place in the CW verse.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I'm only going to bounce this for 2 seconds because I was looking for something else, but I was scrolling through stuff. There's a rumor out there that Kevin Feige from Marvel claims that they did do a special shoot of Lewis from Ant-Man doing a recap of the entire 10-year cinematic universe.
That would probably have to be something probably on the deluxe mega Endgame box set or something like that.
Yeah, I'm guessing. That's the other thing, by the way. My understanding is now they're running the Spider-Man trailer at the end of Endgame.
Yes, that is true. I've heard that.
They're doing a stick around, check this out. You know, here's what's coming. Which, by the way, should have been the stinger from the get-go on Endgame.
That should have been the post-credits scene.
Absolutely.
Endgame.
It should have been. It so should have been. I don't know why they didn't do it that way. It would have made a lot more sense.
Well, I'm glad they're doing it now. Better late than never, I guess.
Right. The Tick has been canceled by Amazon.
That's unfortunate. I watched it. It seemed all right. So, meh.
Yeah.
No big loss.
Trying to look and see what else we got here real fast, because I know one of the things I wanted to talk about was so a few things that I thought looked interesting that are coming for the fall. There was not a lot of good. To me, there wasn't a lot of stuff that looked interesting for fall. That was new in terms of the networks. Some of the few things I thought looked interesting was Walt Goggins is it Goggins? I can't remember his name. CBS has got a new half hour about a guy who's a single guy who's a widow, and it looks kind of funny.
Oh yeah, what's it called? The Unicorn.
The Unicorn. It does look very funny, and I think it's interesting.
Yeah, that guy's got some comedic chops. He was the bad guy in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and
was he?
Yeah, he was the black arms dealer.
Well, I remember him back in the day when he was, and then he was the main character for what I think it was. Wasn't he the lead in Justified or something like that? I think he was. He's been in a lot of stuff, and a few of the people who are who are part of the cast of this are people who I've seen in other stuff that looks good. The two of the friends. One of them's the guy from Hot Tub Time Machine, who's in. Actually, both guys who are his buddies are in The Rock's show. What is it called? Oh, the one on HBO. The one on HBO.
Is that Ballers?
Yeah, Ballers. Yeah, both of those guys are from Ballers.
Yeah.
And they're in this show. And they're on that. There's a new. I guess Edie Falco is doing a show. With her as a judge, her as a police chief of Los Angeles.
Carmela, yeah.
It looks interesting. Yeah, it looks interesting. I think it's called Tommy or something like that.
Yeah, wasn't she she had a show where she was like a nurse or something?
Yeah, for Showtime or something like that.
Yeah. But Edie Falco, she's a good actress.
Yes, and it looked interesting. I liked what I saw. I'm trying to find what else. Nancy Drew was. I thought the previews for Nancy Drew were interesting. I thought that was a possibility of something that would be worthwhile, and I thought that was interesting. I guess the Katie Keene thing, which is a spin-off for Real, will be in the fall, so they didn't show much on that. There was a couple other things. I'm just looking to see if I can find them.
The Orville will be back for season 3, so I'm happy for that.
I'm looking for new stuff. Oh, we didn't even talk about this. So should we all be really, really nervous about the writers from Game of Thrones who are now doing the next Star Wars trilogy?
It won't be. It won't be in a galaxy far, far away. It'll be just in a kingdom on a planet.
Yeah.
With midgets and boobies.
I'll take them over Ryan Johnson. I'll take them over Ryan Johnson. Yeah, no, not really. I think we talked a little bit about this Filthy Rich thing with from Fox with Kim Cattrall.
Yeah, I finally saw the trailer for that. She's almost like unrecognizable.
Yeah, and it's
she's had some work done, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, and then there's this one about this AI thing that's very strange, and there's a new CBS comedy that I thought looked interesting too, but I'm trying to find it right now. Forgive me. And bad for Chicago. Empire done after this season. That's not good. Bad for Chicago. Here it is. It's something called Perfect Harmony with Bradley Whitfield, who's the guy who played Josh Lyman on West Wing, and he's been in a few different things. And one of his co-stars is one of the girls from Pitch Perfect. So, and this looks kind of funny. Again, a half-hour comedy. But there was something else I wanted to mention really fast, but I'm trying to remember what it was.
Was it streaming service or?
No.
Was it network?
Like I said, I was just kind of looking through just to see. Maybe. So Riverdale ended. I thought it was a crazy season. There's still a lot of loose ends, and if you were a fan of the comics, probably not for you, but they certainly have figured out how to make it entertaining. That's for sure. That's without question. So yeah, I mean that's the only things I can think of off the top of my head. But yeah, now that a lot of this network stuff is going bye, it's gonna be searching for stuff to binge and.
Did you watch the series finale of Big Bang?
Yes. Did you?
No. What'd you think?
In fairness, I haven't watched on a regular enough basis. So, to me, it felt kind of felt ho-hum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of thought it could have been funnier. I think people wanted closure and I wanted fun.
Yeah, this is a comedy.
Yeah.
Although so was MASH, but MASH's finale wasn't very funny.
Right. Well, but MASH was a little bit different. You're talking about the Vietnam War.
No, Korean War, but
Korean War, yeah. Yeah. One of the wars over there.
The show lasted 8 years longer than the Korean War.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean that's to me the part where
it did have some dramatic parts. Yeah. Anyway, no,
right,
I didn't see it. I don't know.
What'd you think of it?
I didn't watch it, so I was. all I heard is about that Penny is pregnant with Leonard's kid.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how they ended. So did they marry? I forget. I don't know if those two got married or not.
They did.
Okay, I don't know.
They're married. I mean, let me give you an example of how the pace I am. One of the things I said to a friend was, I was like, I would like to have seen what Howard's mother looked like finally. And they're like, oh, the person who played that died a while back, and she's been off the show for a while.
Yeah,
like,
they wrote her character off where Leonard where Sheldon, or Leonard's, or was it Sheldon's mother died?
No.
It was Leonard's mother.
I'm talking about, not Leonard's mother, Howard's mother, the one where she'd always be yelling, but we never see her.
Oh, yeah, we never see her, yeah.
Right,
so
and I always thought, obviously we should finally get a chance to see her on the show. but I guess she died in real life, and she's been written off.
Yeah,
she was
they
written
had
off
to
the
write.
show
They
a
had an
while
episode
ago,
where she died. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so that. So yeah, that wasn't. So Sheldon. So I think the big points are Sheldon wins the Nobel Prize with Amy. Okay, and then so Penny and Leonard have a kid, and the other big thing is the elevator works.
The what?
The elevator finally works.
Oh, okay.
Quite frankly, to me, the elevator working was the bigger thing than any of it. I actually kind of found it kind of funny. I don't know. I mean, if you're really going to go for the happy ending thing, I thought it was. Oh, and they had a guest appearance by Sarah Michelle Gellar, where she is like kind of with Raj for the event, but it's not really a date because she's like, I'm married, right? And he's like, oh yeah, sure. Like I said, I guess I just wanted a little bit. I think people wanted closure with these characters, and they wanted certain things, and okay,
all right, so be it.
And it's funny because the episode of Young Sheldon actually, at the end of the episode, has a tie-in to the Big Bang finale. And it's interesting because like I said, to me, I think it's kind of funny because, what's his name? Jim Parsons says, I don't want to do the character. Well, you don't want to do the character for real anymore. You just want to sit there and read the scripts for Young Sheldon.
I think he was one of the voices in that Ugly Dolls movie that just came out.
He might have been. I have no idea. I mean, I know the guy who plays Leonard is going to go back to doing the Connors again. I mean, that literally popped right back in.
Yeah.
Because he was Darlene's husband when it went off the air, and he's made a couple cameos on the show. So they'll bring him back and bring him on as a regular cast member as part of the Connors. Kaylee Carlico is doing. I know for a fact she's the voice for Harley Quinn on the DC.
Yeah, the new animated series is coming.
Yeah, the new animated. So that she's at least got that going on, and I can't imagine she doesn't have other stuff going on. I will be curious to see what some of the doing. I'm curious to see what the rest of their careers look like.
Right.
Because
you wonder because like after Seinfeld, the rest of the cast couldn't get work.
Well,
aside from Jerry,
Louise-Dreyfus is the one. Well, no, Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
She's on. She's been on Veep now for a while now. So.
Right, and she's won a couple of Emmys with that, and she did that New Adventures of Christine. I mean, that ironically, everybody thought Michael Richards was going to be the breakout guy, and well, yeah, that didn't really happen. And Jason
and then
Alexander,
he had that racist tirade on his stand-up one night. So
right, but even with that was years after all this stuff. But people thought he'd be able to come out with a thing and break out and do his own thing, and that never really happened. Jason Alexander's done other movies and other things, but he's never really hit the next big role.
No, he hasn't.
I can't imagine that he kind of didn't wish that Boris and Natasha from the Avengers of Rocky and Bullwinkle hadn't gone better.
God, I remember I had to watch that movie once. Oh, God, it was so bad.
Yeah.
But I had June Foray was still in it. She was still alive at the time, so she was still the voice of Rocket J. Squirrel.
Yeah, there's an example of where they had a lot of amazing people in a movie that sucked.
Yeah, and De Niro was in it.
Yeah, De Niro's in it. Rene Russo's in it. What's her name? The one who plays the agent has been in a bunch of stuff. The one from Coyote Ugly. Yeah, they had some good people in that movie. There's an example. It's like good cast, crappy movie. We were talking about that earlier about good cast, crappy movie. That's why I think we've had this conversation before. We talked about, like, that's why Airheads still gets play.
Yeah.
Because Airheads has, like, this amazing cast that you're like, how did this movie not do better? Or Love Potion #9 with Donna and Sandra Bullock before Sandra Bullock is, like, famous. For a while, Mystic Pizza, which was Julia Roberts, very young Julia Roberts, would get rotation because she's in there. Or that bad Justine Bateman movie, Satisfaction.
Was Mystic Pizza, was that before Pretty Woman?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think so. I'm pretty sure it was. Hold on, let me go take a look. I'm trying to, I mean, there's some bad, I mean, there's some movies that are just like that, where it's like, oh, there's a lot of interesting people in these movies. And
what was it? Bonfire of the Vanities. That was supposed to be, that was a hit. Well, at least had a big cast, a good cast, but was just.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wasn't aware that apparently Julia Roberts did a voice in Smurfs: The Lost Village. Yikes.
Wasn't she? Yeah, she was Tinkerbell in Hook. With
yes, she was.
Robin Williams, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't sat through all that, though.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm looking to see, because with her, there's a lot of stuff. So you gotta file through it all and see if you can find. Let's see. Yes, okay, so Satisfaction's before Mystic Pizza. Satisfaction is 88, and I have the unfortunate ability to say that I saw that movie in theaters, because for some strange reason as a kid, there were a lot of hot chicks in that movie, and I thought it would be good. And I was wrong. Badly wrong. But yeah, Mystic Pizza is 80, and Pretty Woman is 90. So yeah, without question. That one gets thrown on
Julia Roberts not been up to much lately.
Well, no, she did. She's doing that. She's doing that Homecoming series, but I can't remember.
Wasn't she in this one movie with Owen Wilson with the kid? With the.
That's what it is. She's doing that Homecoming show on Amazon Prime, and either one of us get Amazon Prime. But she's doing she's getting paid big bucks to do this series, called Homecoming. But she, what movie are you thinking about that has her?
Yeah, she's the mom, and Owen Wilson's the dad, and they have this kid where he's kind of disfigured, I guess. It's like a tearjerker kind of movie where he likes wearing the space helmet. I saw the trailer a couple of times. It's funny. Years ago.
Before you started going down there, I'm like, are you mask with Cher?
No, it's kind of like that. Maybe.
Hold on, let me try this a different way. This is the part where on the show where we sit there and Google things.
Here we go.
Owen Wilson movie. Wonder.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Wonder. That, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's that. That's the name of it, is Wonder. And that was in 2017 at play. Yeah. So yeah, I like I said.
Let's see, what's coming out? Let's see, Aladdin's coming out this weekend.
Are you going?
No, I may be I don't know. Well, that's right. Sunday we're having a barbecue. So, I don't know.
That's right. It's Memorial Day.
Maybe a Monday, because I'm only working a half day on Memorial Day, so I might catch a matinee on Monday afternoon. But I do want to see, although Rockaband's coming in the next week.
Is it?
Yeah, and that's getting good write-ups.
I still feel like this is the wrong time of year for this movie. I'm really tempted because tomorrow is $5. I am between going to see Endgame for a second time, maybe going to see Pikachu.
I don't know. I've heard mixed bag on Pikachu. Some people said it was just stupid. some people are all like, it's not for me. Well, that's kind of not for me. But I think like a PG-13 or PG-rated Ryan Reynolds might be enough to keep you entertained.
Yeah, and I'm not I never saw the, so I'm probably not going to see John Wick.
I saw the first John Wick, and it was good. I think it was interesting. And the second one, I heard it was just more of the same, so I didn't watch it. And now this one I hear is just, everyone just says, oh, it's just fights. So, I don't know.
Well, it fought its way all the way to beat Avengers Endgame, so somebody had to like it.
And somebody, it did, so.
I did see a trailer for Godzilla King of Monsters. Apparently it's not exactly what I thought it was. Which is, I thought it was really just Japanese all over the place. But I think there is some American characters in there.
Yeah, it ties into the global catastrophe of these monsters coming up out of the ground and out of the oceans. I've been invited. I'm going to go see it with my friend and his wife and their foreign exchange student to see it on IMAX.
That sounds weird, but okay. You know what's weird? I've seen ads for this Ma movie that's coming out.
This what?
This movie called Ma. Have you not seen the trailers for this?
No.
It's Octavia Spencer, and apparently she basically befriends these kids and has parties at her place, and then it takes kind of the horror turn. And I've seen some trailers for it, and it's not my kind of movie, but I was kind of like, hey, that's something different from the horror genre, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, how come you're not returning my call? And it's very, I don't know. Like I said, I thought it at least looked different. I don't know that but I'm not really a horror person, so, you know, I'm probably the last person there and say, oh, this could be good, but at least it looked different than the usual slasher type stuff, if you know what I mean.
No,
but
I'm not much on horror, so
see, that's not my thing either. No. I've gotten away from that for, and you know, I'm not big on the Saw stuff. I think the last time I saw anything related was Scream.
We're going to play a game, Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. You know, I mean, maybe it's because I got spoiled what we got in the 80s, where it was like all about, you know, Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers, and then it's kind of turned into like, how many more of these movies can you guys make? You know, after a while, you're like, okay, how many more movies are you going to make of these? But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna.
So this weekend, I don't plan. Well, this Friday is, I don't know. Maybe I could go see it Friday night. I don't know. We'll see.
What, Aladdin?
Yeah. I don't know.
You're not.
I'm interested. I'm not hating on it yet, and I don't want to judge myself, but I do want to see how Will's performance is.
Yeah, you know, I mean, here's the thing. After watching Dumbo, I at least am sitting there going, okay, maybe I should give it a shot. Because, well, you know, I thought Dumbo, I was nervous about, and saw Dumbo in the theaters and was like, wow, okay, you know what? Not bad. I just don't know that I'm running to go see Aladdin. You know, I think it's one of those, you know, if on Tuesday it's available next week, okay, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's my direction. Yeah.
So do we have anything else, or we gonna?
No, I think I'm good. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I guess we can cap it up. I did just go to what is it? I went to the Volo Auto Museum Sunday. Went to their antique mall, and I didn't pay to go into the museum, but I just went and looked around in there. That was fun. Had a good time. But they do have some good. I haven't been in there in like 5 years, but I'd like to go through the museum again. But I think admission is like $20, and it's only like 10 minutes from my house, and like people come from like all around to see it because it has all famous cars from movies and stuff. So I'd like to go back in there again. Maybe just invite some friends and go through there. But that was all I had for me in my week. But. So yeah, we'll see what this Memorial Day weekend comes. I guess we'll be back next Monday from Memorial Day, cause my family's grilling out on Sunday and I'm only working a half a day on Monday. So we can record next week if you want.
I guess, yeah, well, I'm sure we could figure something out. And I guess we'll be good. I'm assuming I don't have crazy that evening, but yeah, we could probably talk. And I'll gotta be honest with you. I think it's going to be kind of a slow Memorial Day weekend for me. I don't have a ton planned for this weekend. So I am going down to the Chicago to see something, but I don't feel like it's something we need to be talking about unless I come back and go, wow, that was really cool.
Anything
I think it's good.
With your speech making presentations, anything going this weekend?
No, really not. Actually, it's kind of funny you say that. This is the time where I should go take a look around and see, hey, if there's some storytelling events I should go check out or something. But no, all quiet. So I like I said, I think this weekend's going to be a little bit quiet, and we'll go from there.
Yep. Gonna go fill my propane tank and gonna go cook some burgers out on the grill. I tell you what.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mike, where can they find us? News of the Squared or the show or.
We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on Facebook. That's where we get all the great stories. Shout out to Scott for all the great stories. Scott! For our News of the Squared stories. We're on Anchor and Podbean. You can listen to those on the free app. We got the YouTubes as well. Click the bell, subscribe. You'll know when new episodes drop. And we're on the emails as well. SOTRTpodcast@gmail.com. Okay,
well, that's going to do it for this week. And we'll have, I'm assuming we're going to have Ivan next week, but we'll see where it goes. But yeah, sounds like a plan. And Mike, have a great week. And, again, you have this, you have News of the Squared. So the Not Show is available for you as well, show number 2. And, I can't think of anything else. So, thanks for being with us this week. And we look forward to, you hanging out with us next week as well. And, thanks again.
Yeah. Have a great holiday weekend.